Hello, good evening from Eduko Pathways. I'm Kazi Tushar, Chief Marketing Officer. Today with us we have Ellen Keating, Director Marketing Recruitment from WLIC. Ellen, very nice of you to join in.
Hi, thank you for inviting me. Exciting to be here.
Very nice. So, Ellen, starting off with the WLIC. So, this is what I get. WLIC, close to Hamilton, Niagara, Waterloo. It has more than 40 different co-ops available, located in Brantford, just an hour from Toronto by GO train, if I'm not wrong. Uh,
You are
so
correct.
you could possibly say you're right living in Toronto, because as far as I know, Toronto does have a commuting of 45 minutes across. So you're basically living in Toronto. WLIC, for people who does not recognize WLIC, WLIC is a direct pathway to Wilfrid Laurier University. Laurier University is one of the oldest Canadian universities. Not only that, it's also WLIC is very famous for its student experience, ranked highest in student satisfaction for consecutive years, because of its experiential learning. So what does that mean? Basically, that means students feel more closer to the community of the people who are already studying in WLIC. The faculties are more open to be approached. And overall, one of the other great things about WLIC is it does offer guaranteed residence to the students. A smaller community means you'll have a more friendlier community in Canada for people who have not experienced the Canadian culture. It could be a great starting point. WLIC could be your stepping stone towards better things in Canada. Over 60 programs to choose from. One of the things that I'll ask you, Ellen, today is about the emerging programs, specifically the programs that you say are future ready, user experience design programs or grads. Could you tell more about that, Ellen?
Sure. So user experience design, it is one of the most high demand programs if you look at LinkedIn or you looked at different surveys that talk about what careers people are going to be looking for in the future. That's one of them. And it's a super cool program. Right now, most people only have certificates. There are very few degrees available in it. So this is a great opportunity to get ahead in the field if you start now. And what it is basically the user is the person who's using something, so the client, and how they experience a product. So if we want to think about an example, if you're in your car and you have a cup of coffee, here we love to buy Starbucks coffee and carry it around for hours for no reason. We don't drink it, we just carry it around. And you get in your car and you need to put it somewhere. Well, where are you going to put it? That's someone from a user experience design perspective will figure out where the coffee cup goes so you have the best driving experience. They're hired in NASA to do the spacesuit for the astronauts, not to see if it's going to work technically or scientifically. It's so the astronaut can actually get the thing out of their pocket. So they're thinking about how the astronaut experiences their spacesuit. And so what's interesting also about user experience design is you're really thinking through something from start to finish and how someone's going to use it. But you can be very science, you can be very science orientated. You could be really into computers and tech and all of that, or you can be very creative. So you can come at it from an artistic side, or you can come at it from more of a computer science side. So it takes people from all different backgrounds, and you can work anywhere. Because businesses need this, design companies need this, car companies need this, clothing companies need this. So there's lots of different opportunities, and they are expecting massive growth, like 50% growth in positions in user experience design over the next 5 to 10 years.
Great. Sounds interesting. Why is it called the emerging programs? Anything? Why is it because gets the students future ready?
Well, it's an emerging program because historically there haven't been a lot of degrees in user experience design. A lot of people were doing it either intuitively, or they would do like a 6-week certificate, a year certificate, and they'd be doing it as something else. Like you would have a degree in something else, you'd be hired in something else, and you would do a little bit of this. But it's become very clear in the industry that this is super important. And so there's a push to have people who just do this as their job.
Great, great. I'd just like to tell the viewers that WLIC has the highest, the students of WLIC, the graduates of WLIC, has the highest employment rate for students of all the Canadian universities. Correct me if I'm wrong. That is 94.5% employment rate last year. Ellen, is that correct?
Well, that's actually the rate for Laurier for international students is 94.5%. Overall, it's 97.
Wow.
So the interesting thing there for you to note is universities will tell you what their employment rate is. It's usually a little bit lower for international students, often because you don't have any Canadian experience or you don't have a Canadian network. So it's a little bit harder. But at Laurier, we spend a lot of time getting students career ready with experience, with experiential learning, with co-op. So with lots of different opportunities. And so we're very proud. 97 is amazing. And it is absolutely one of the highest in Canada. But 94.5 for international students is also, it's even more amazing in my opinion, because it's definitely higher. And you know, that's something as a student you need to consider. Like, what are you doing when you graduate? And if you come to Laurier, there's a very high chance that you will either go on to work, or you can come back and do a graduate degree. Depends on your ambition.
Right. Fantastic. Sounds all good. So let's talk a little bit more about the UTP2 science programs in WLIC. What does that lead to? What majors can students go and do after they complete the UTP2 science?
That's a good question. So we have over 60 different programs. So there's lots of different things for you to take. The ones that we highlight are data science, computer science, and financial math. All of these, again, are like these emerging programs that are in the top 5, top 10 most sought after programs that, you know, the Times or LinkedIn are saying are going to be the programs of the future. These are the ones that we need in the industry, and we don't have enough people to do them. So those would be the 3 major ones: data science, computer science, and financial math.
Okay. So can you tell us more about the intake sessions, so when students can possibly apply for WLIC?
Sure. So one of the great things about this program that differs a little bit from most university programs is we take students all year round. So you can start in September, January, or May, and you can apply anytime. You can apply today. Actually, if you're super keen, you could apply today and still start in September. But most of you would be considering January or even May as the start date. And it gets you a head start because most university programs, if you go straight to university, won't start until September. So you're going to have to wait a whole nother year before you get started in your university experience. If you were to come to us, you could start early, you know, get your first year under your belt, and then go right into second year.
Right. Wow. That gives students a sort of like an edge for providing education. Now, let's talk a little bit about a lot of Bangladeshi students have problem with taking the IELTS. In general, it seems to be the biggest hurdle they have to cross. Now, what are the English proficiency accepted in WLIC? Is it only IELTS? Can they do Duolingo? Can you enlighten us a little bit more?
We take all the things. We have lots of opportunities for you to prove that you can speak English and write in English. I think writing is probably the one. Everyone can speak English, but writing English, that is often a challenge. Yeah, we take all the different exams. So they can do Duolingo, IELTS, TOEFL, IB English, GCSE English we take. We also have something called the PVT. So if you don't have your own English exam, we'll give you one. It's free after you apply. You can contact us, or we can work together and we can provide the exam for the student. And if you do well on that, you'll meet your English proficiency requirement.
Mm-hmm.
So our
That's
IELTS.
great. So yeah.
Yeah, I'll just mention. I'll just use IELTS as a band for you guys, so you understand. But we do take all the tests. But you can start with us as low as a 5 in IELTS. So we have various. So with students, you can come in from a 5. If you only have a 5, there's a tutorial you'll have to take along with your program. But you can start now. So rather than spending a year, sitting in an ESL class working on your writing, if you do have under a 6.5 but over a 5, you can get started with us sooner.
Great. So everybody who's listening and having problem with IELTS but really want to go to Canada, WLIC could be a very wise. You could just look into it. And how to apply? Get in touch with us. We're always to help. We are in direct contact with WLIC, so we'll help you all the way. We have zero service charge, so just take our consultancy on it. We'll enlighten you more on the programs and how you can bypass IELTS, if I might say, and still get an entry for WLIC. Now, my next question towards you, Ellen, is I know this differs from programs to programs, but could you give us a sort of like a range of tuition fees that students can expect for WLIC?
Actually, it doesn't with us. We only have one tuition fee. So but we have 2 programs. So if we're talking about the regular program that a lot of you are looking at, is you've completed your grade 12, you've completed your A levels or your AS levels or whatever it is you're taking. That's the equivalent of grade 12. Then you go into what we call UTP stage 2. So that's your first year equivalent of university. And the tuition fee for that is 29,300 Canadian. That's the base tuition fee. And that's for the year.
That's for the year. Okay. So you have answered a lot of questions, I think, Ellen. Thank you so much for that. We have one student who says, "Hi, is there any experiential learning opportunity available for music grads?" How do you answer that?
That's an interesting question. Can I ask what kind of music?
Well, he didn't write that. He just wrote for a music. So he completed his graduate in music, I think. So is there any experiential learning opportunity present in WLIC?
Sure, absolutely. So Laurier itself has tons of experiential learning opportunities, and we have, as I mentioned, Co-op. And so Co-op can take place just about anywhere. So there's performing arts centers in Brantford. There's centers all across Southern Ontario. So if you can do some experiential learning that way. There's opportunities for volunteering. You could get a job working as a musician while you're here. Students, when they come to Canada, are able to work if they're studying at a college or a university. So there are a lot rock music.
Rock music.
I mean, you can also work at a radio station. I mean, that's what I did when I went to university. That was my part-time job, I was a radio DJ. So
wow.
Yeah, it was
an RJ.
Yeah, and I mean, there's also a radio station at the university where students can volunteer and they can get a radio show, and they can play music on there. They can interview different musicians. They get experience being a DJ, and it's really great. Actually, it's super good experience in terms of building your confidence and being able to talk to people and public speaking and all that stuff. It's really good. So in summary, that was a long answer. Yes. Yes is the answer.
Yes is the answer. The rock musician who just put a comment. Yes is the answer.
Are you going to study computer science, rock musician?
He says, "Wow, thanks." So he'll probably be applying to WLIC very soon. So Ellen, coming back to it, do you have any? You have answered most of, I think, the major queries that a student might have. Would you like to have a sort of like a presentation to sum it all up?
Sure. I might actually just mention a couple of things that are also
Sure. Go ahead.
interesting. So I know sometimes students are wanting to apply for a business program or a science program, and they didn't do math, or they didn't do well in math, or they only did grade 10 math, or there's always math is always a problem. It's IELTS and
Right.
math, the two things
Yep.
that are problems for everyone. So we have a great solution for that. If you go into our UTP2 program, you can, if you don't have your math, you can take it alongside your program. So at the same time, and then go on to your university program. So within our year, you can pick up that math. You still have to do the math. You still have to pass the math, but you can do it while you're studying with us.
So you can go around IELTS, but you just cannot go around maths.
Well,
you have to do it.
You can't go around it, but if you don't have it, you can start anyway.
Fantastic.
And then
would you like to share any presentation with us,
yeah,
Ellen?
I'll share that now.
Sure.
Just give me 1 second here. There we go. You're just going to see my whole screen for a second. I apologize for that.
No worries. Yeah.
I did English and drama. I didn't do technology, so I always have a little glitch when it comes to all these things, but we'll get through. So here's a photo just of one of our buildings. So as I mentioned, we're located in Brantford, and the city of Brantford is awesome, and they've given Laurier all of these historic buildings. So Canada's a pretty young country. We're under 200 years old. So a building that's 150 years old for us is like super historical and a heritage building. And so we feel very proud and very lucky to have had these heritage buildings donated to us. And they're all completely renovated. So they're modern inside, but they have loads of character. So here's one of them. This is a video, but I'm not going to play it for you just because of the bandwidth thing. But here you can see this is one of our buildings. It's fall. You can tell from this photo it's fall because the leaves have changed color. Canada, I know people are scared of Canada because of the weather. We have 4 seasons here. There's summer, it's hot. It was like 35 degrees yesterday. And then in the winter, it's cooler. So, don't be scared of the weather. If you guys can put up with the heat of Bangladesh, you can put up with the cold of Canadian winter. It's, I think, easier. So here's our location. As I said, it's an hour on the train. So like on a public transport from Toronto, which is just like commuting across Toronto. Close to Waterloo, Hamilton, Niagara Falls, all those places. So if you do co-op, you can do co-op in any of those places, no problem. This is an aerial view of the campus. I won't play it for you, but you can see we have a bunch of different buildings right in the middle of downtown. And over to your right, there's a river. That's the Grand River. It's massive and beautiful. You can go swimming, canoeing, tubing, lots of different things in there. I go canoeing in there all the time. And it goes through a bunch of different towns or cities. So you can see lots of Southern Ontario if you just jump on a canoe.
By the numbers, it's a pretty substantial university.
Now, see, I told you I'm great at technology.
That's fine. That's fine.
So very quickly, just to tell you about Laurier. So Laurier is one of the oldest universities in Canada. It has a really great reputation. Everyone has heard of it, and it's a very solid degree. It's one of the top 10 comprehensive universities in the country. And we have about 20,000 students with 80 different undergraduate programs. So we have been talking about Brantford. Students come to us in Brantford, and they either stay in Brantford or they move on to Laurier to Waterloo, the city of Waterloo, in their second year. So you get to see Southern Ontario. Waterloo is the same, super close to Toronto, super close to Brantford. We've talked about this before. Laurier students are happy and successful. That's basically the summary of what a student at Laurier is, and why. Because there's a huge focus on student satisfaction, student support, extracurricular activities. So extracurricular activities are fun things you do outside of school. It's important for us to know that you are happy, that you're part of the community, that you're well connected. That's going to help you be better at your academic studies. If you're feeling happy and healthy, you're going to do better at studying. Yeah, it's true. It's really important that you think about your whole experience when you're studying. Also, you know, your university years are the best. Like, you want to take advantage of them and have a little fun as well as studying. So again, we're talking about community here. So it's a close-knit community at WLIC. If you want to participate in anything, you want to make some friends and get some exercise, we have 775 intramural teams. That's a bit hard to fathom such a large number, but we do. And it's in everything, like swimming, cricket, soccer, football, you know, tennis, volleyball, whatever. There's all the sports, and they're not competitive. You just go and you play on a team and have some fun. We also have 250 student-led clubs. So if you don't want to do sports, you want to do art, go join the art club or join the history club or the environmental club or Indian cooking club, whatever. Just lots of different options for you to try. Here are all of our programs. So we have 60 different programs, as I mentioned. Some of them are highlighted in yellow just because we think they're going to be interesting for some of the students. Human rights and human diversity. That, again, is one of the top 10 most sought after jobs right now. It's all about, you know, human rights and equity. And when you look at what positions are being advertised and what are being hired, and being hired at very high levels and very high salaries, that's one of them. Communication studies, we all need to communicate. That's always important. Our film studies degree, we partner with Vancouver Film School. So you can go and spend a semester or a year in Vancouver, and you'll get a diploma from the film school along with your film studies degree. So there's opportunities there. If you want to, you don't have to. You can do the whole film studies degree with us, or you can do the partnership and get the diploma at the same time. In business and economics and financial management, we have accounting. Financial management, again, one of the top 10 programs. Everyone currently needs financial advisors and people to help with financial planning. So both of our financial math and financial management programs are super employable. This is also why we have such a great employment rate, because we've got great programs. So I won't spend a lot of time on this, but basically what design your degree is, loads of flexibility. You can pick different minors and majors. If you want to do a computer science degree, but you do have a passion for music, you know, your parents probably won't let you do a music degree, but you really want one, do computer science and do a minor in music. You know, just pick up a second thing, and or you could pick up something complementary, like you could do financial management and psychology, because that's going to help you better understand the people who are coming to you. Co-op. So I don't know if we all know what co-op is. It's when you work while you study. What happens is you take 1, 2, 3 semesters off in the middle of your studying. So you study for a year or two, then you go to work, then you come back, then you go to work, then you come back. When you're working, you get paid. You get paid a real salary. Here, the average salaries per week, $650 for arts and science, $720 to $1,100 for our business programs. You don't pay tuition while you're working in your co-op program. Then when you come back, you just start up your university program again, and you do that for 8, 12, or 16 months. Great way to get experience, great way to understand what you like about your career. It'll probably affect what courses you want to choose and where you want to sort of focus your energy when you come back from your co-op, and a really great place, opportunity for you to secure a job when you graduate. Here's some sample jobs. We have hundreds and hundreds of these, so I've just selected a few for you. As you can see, They're in, actually, I don't think I even put any Brantford ones. There's loads in Brantford with the government, with the community, with different organizations in Brantford, but a lot of them, Toronto, Waterloo, Cambridge, Kitchener, all over the place. You can do your co-op wherever you want. Big companies like Amazon, PepsiCo, KPMG, and then there are smaller local companies. And what we often suggest is do one with a local company, do one with a big company, see if you like the multinational, see if you like more of the homegrown. You have different co-op placements to take, so you have lots of opportunity to kind of feel out what works best for you. If you have a dream to start your own business, we have the Launchpad Incubator. What this place is it's a bunch of people, professionals who are there to help you. If you have a business idea, you go and see them and they will help you with anything. If you need help with marketing, you need help with a business plan, you just need a workspace, you need help finding a business partner or whatever, go there. They will, their job is just to help you and to help you launch your business successfully. So here we go. The results speak for themselves. As you mentioned, 94.5% of international grads either found a job or went back to grad school within 6 months of graduating, which is awesome, 97% overall. Job fairs, we have the biggest job fair in Canada. At Laurier, we also have job fairs all year. What that means is employers come to campus, they're looking for you. So you go and see them, you give them your resume, you have an interview, and hopefully you get hired. Yeah, so lots of opportunities for you to spark your career while you're studying. WLIC, this is what we talked about. So if you come into us after your year 12, you do a year, which is the equivalent of first year, and then you go on into second year at Laurier. If for some reason you don't have grade 12, you didn't do very well in grade 12, you don't meet the admission requirements, you can come in earlier after your year 11 equivalency or after your O-levels. And you would spend either 1 semester or 2 semesters with us in our stage 1. That's essentially a foundation program. Then you pop up to stage 2, do your year, and go on to second year. So what's different about us than a regular university program? Okay, 1, we have the 3 intakes. We have the lower English. We have lower admission requirements. For example, if you don't have your math or your GPA isn't quite what you were hoping for, you may be able to come through WLIC into your Laurier program. We have really great academic programs. They're taught by Laurier. So if you're taking an economics class through us, it's taught by a Laurier professor. But that professor spends an extra hour every class with you. So 25% more class time than you would get in a regular university program. And why? Because we want you to do well. First year is hard. First year is arguably the most difficult year because you have to understand university. There's a lot of change in your life in first year. You're leaving your family. Nobody's telling you to study anymore. It's all on you. So yeah, your teacher's not there wagging their finger and telling you what to do. It's you. And so we have an extra hour every class just for you to get help from the teacher and your classmates and to be supported. We also have transition. We also have academic tutorials. So lots of help that you wouldn't necessarily get elsewhere. Very quickly, some people think, maybe university isn't for me for whatever reason, and they decide they want to go and do a diploma. So I wanted to talk to you very briefly about that. Diplomas are good. Degrees are better. In Canada, if you have a bachelor's degree as a woman compared to a diploma, you make 41% more money in your lifetime. Think about that. That is an enormous difference between a diploma and a bachelor's degree. A diploma prepares you for one thing. It really prepares you for one position, one job, and gets you the skills for that. A degree is broad. It'll prepare you for work in your industry. So you have a lot more opportunities. There's a lot more flexibility. And if you ever want to be a manager, 80% of Canada's top jobs require a university degree. So if you want to go into leadership or management, you're eventually going to have to get a university degree to do that. So you might as well just get it straight. out of high school as opposed to getting a diploma and waiting. Brantford is very affordable. If you're deciding where to live, we are very close to Toronto, but we are so much cheaper. So rent is 39, like almost 40% cheaper. The bus pass, we give you a bus pass with your WLIC tuition and student fees. So you're saving $150 a month right there, just on your bus pass. Same if you want to compare it to Vancouver or London or any other major city, you're gonna do much better in Brantford, which is great. We talked about this already. One of the other great things about Brantford is it has a really low unemployment rate, which means there are more jobs than in a lot of different places, and a lot of student jobs, which start at $14.25 an hour. 43% lower than in Toronto. It's like way easier to get a job in Brantford than it is to get a job in Toronto. And why is that? Because there's so many schools in Toronto. There's like a bunch of universities, a bunch of colleges. There's so many people competing for the positions. And in Brantford, we don't have as much competition for the positions. We guarantee residence. So if you want to have that dorm room experience, we have that opportunity for you. You live in an apartment style residence with 5 other students, and you'll have your own bedroom, or you can have a double room. You share the kitchen and the bathroom. So really great if that's what you're looking for, that university living experience. Here are the admission requirements. I'll just mention the Bangladeshi ones. If you do the local certificate, we need an overall average of 60 in 4 academic subjects. If you want to go straight into the business and economics stream, you need an 80 in math as well. But as I mentioned, we have some ways around that. We talked about English. So as you can see, we start at an IELTS 5 and go up. Tuition fees, again, just so you can have a visual. So for the regular grade first year university program, it's $29,300. If you have to go in through the foundation program, if you do 2 semesters, it's $22,800. If you do well, you only need 1 semester, and it's half that, well, approximately half that. Scholarships, we have scholarships available. I'm not going to spend a long time talking about them. That's basically my presentation. We have, if you want to hear about our scholarships, I'll let you go back to our presenter here, and he's going to tell you all about them when you have the conversation with the educational advisor. I think that would be really great. I can tell you, and it depends on the program. It depends on your start date. The one that we have that is consistent always is the Ambassador Scholarship. So if you want to help us represent WLIC, you want to talk to potential students and that sort of thing, we offer $7,500. And there's an interview with me required, and you have to make a little video.
Okay. Sounds all interesting. Thank you so much, Ellen, for sharing all those news with us today, giving us updates on WLIC. Sounds like a good place to start for a lot of students. Now, to leave, I'd probably say learning is only amazing when it's transformative, and WLIC will provide you that with a very close-knit community of teachers, students who are almost like a family. So I just took this off from WLIC website, but I really like the tagline, so I just put it up there. Your path to a successful future with transformative learning experience in a supportive environment. That's what you get once you apply to WLIC. If you're interested about the program, if you're interested about the college, we are here to help you apply to WLIC as quickly as possible. If you want to know more, whether your academics match a particular program or whether you are capable of getting into a scholarship, get in touch with us. You can get in touch with us through our Facebook page, of course. You can just message us. and we'll get back to you within 48 hours. That's a promise from Eduko Pathways. So if that's all from you, Ellen, would you like to conclude?
Yes, thank you. So I wanted to say thank you for taking the time today. As we mentioned, we talk lots about WLIC, and Eduko Pathways is a really great partner of ours. Where thank you for working with us, and thank you for supporting the students. We love to work with them because they're right there in your community, so you can go and you can see them in your time zone, and you can go and talk to a person. I don't know if you could talk face to face this moment, but normally, but there's someone there for you. So please do go and see them, and they will help you. You're welcome to reach out to WLIC directly, but Eduko, they know all the things about us, and they're a really strong supporter of the college. So go and see them. We would love to see you here at WLIC in Brantford and in Canada. And I guarantee you, if you come to Canada to study and you come and see us, you will definitely have a transformative experience. It will 100% change your life. So I would love to see you here and to meet you and be part of that. Thank you. And whatever you end up doing, good luck with your choices.
Thank you, Ellen. Just on your point, for everybody who's tuned right now, our office is now open 5 days a week.
Oh, amazing. Okay.
So students can just walk into our office. That's in Banani, road number 11. Again, if you want our office address, you can always contact us on Facebook. So you can come and talk to our Canadian counselors right face to face. If you have problems with virtually connecting or over the phone, it's always better to be face-to-face connecting. So we have that right now. We are not, thankfully, we are not in lockdown anymore. Our office is open and anybody can walk in without a prior appointment. We will always have a space for you to meet our Canadian counselors. With that note, Ellen, I again want to thank you so much for being here and joining and enlightening us on such amazing programs and about a very close-knit community that is WLIC. So until next time we meet again, stay safe, stay secured. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.